Okay, so it is about 2 to 3 hours after everyone has gone to bed. Um, we will say that it's somewhere around somewhere between like 11 to 1, um, unless you would like it to be later.
No, that sounds good.
Okay, and as far as you know, everyone is in bed.
All right. Akio, unable to wait any longer,
The
will
desire and the craving too much, and it's getting harder and harder to hold back the urge.
it is. Uh, Akio will sit up in bed and essentially go into a meditative uh, sit position. From there, reach out to the mark that they've placed on Max earlier that day.
Back when you were frolicking around in the arcade.
Yep. And from there, gain control of his mind.
Okay, you feel the odd tingling sensation in your spine as you connect with another person. You now have access to. You can now see through them and control them and make them see what you would.
That'll do. So I'll control him, so it'll be me fairly in control, but I'll use the illusions to help augment my control so he doesn't fight anything that I'm walking him through.
Okay.
Um, from there, knock, knock, knock at his door.
Okay. From what you can tell, he is asleep. Um, so when he hears the knocking, even though you have control of him, you can feel a wave of just grogginess come over you as now you feel kind of tired and sleepy as you look through Max's eyes and they slowly like shutter open and he's just thinking, the hell? What time is it?
I'll have him start sitting up, and as I do, a voice brushes through his mind of Megami. Max, it's me. Open the door.
He he gets up and he walks over and he's like, and he opens the door and he's like, Megumi, what time is it? When he opens the door, I assume he sees Megumi sitting or standing.
Yeah, she'll be standing there, and then I wanted to talk to you, but we can't do it here. Here,
Huh?
follow me.
Uh, uh all right. That's real weird, but all right. As he just let out a long yawn, he's he just starts walking besides Megumi, and and just asks, "What's up? What's going on? Something happened?"
No, no, not here. Uh, but I just wanted to talk to you. Follow me. And kind of in like how uh can be in like ghost stories or drunken hazes. He'll look over and she's not going to be beside him anymore. He'll look ahead and she's just waiting at the edge of the elevator.
He
And
all right,
or actually, let's do the stairs. Let's do the stairs.
all right. Let me double check and see exactly what floor he's on.
I
Um,
forgot to check that myself.
he's on the eighth floor, so he's gonna be going up 12 stories. That's gonna take a minute.
Yeah, that's fair.
Or is that what you want to do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's he just sees Megumi kind of like He looks to the side and she's not. Huh? Megumi? And he just looks ahead and just Megumi just uh walking up the stairs and disappearing around the corner. Just like,
Right before she disappears, she'll have like one of those kind of like small smiles on her face and just have like a come hither motion with her hand.
he, Max just stops for a second and stretches and yawns and he's like, alright, I'm coming. And then he just walks over to the stairs and he turns the corner to the stairs and he Megami already waiting at the other corner, beckoning him in just a come on motion. He's like, come on. It happens again 2 or 3 more times. You decide to throw in a little Megumi sass and she puts her hands on her shoulder, on her hip, and like, "Come on, Max, we don't have all night." And
Yes.
Max, just after walking up 3 flights of stairs, is just, "What is it, Megumi? What? Where are we going? And why can't we take the elevator?"
I want to try to use my mind control to keep his mind foggy,
Uh, all
like
right.
foggy with sleep.
He he just yawns again. He just says, "How many stairs have we even gone up already?"
It's just a little further.
He just kind of shakes his head, like, "All right, ever." He, you go up 2 or 3 more flights of stairs, and doing this same thing, keeping his mind foggy, uh, in that you can't read people's mind, but just from the small little comments he's making, you can kind of tell he's not exactly sure how long he's been going up these stairs. But he doesn't seem happy about it at all. And just eventually says, "Damn it, Megami, we've been going up these stairs for I don't know how long. Can't we just stop here and talk here?"
No, it has to be the roof. For a conversation like this, wouldn't it be better on the roof? With the stars above us?
He just shakes his head and just says, "We're going all the way up there. Why didn't we take the elevator? What is Megumi? What is going on with you?"
We're almost there.
I you you get up, about 7 flights of stairs, and he's panting now. And uh, and just for a second, he doesn't see Megumi. Like, uh, Megumi, where'd you go?
She'll appear further. You said he was at the top of the stairs. Has he left
Yeah,
the?
he's just walking around the corner.
Okay. She'll be out further, uh, towards the middle of the roof.
Not the
Um.
roof. You're not on the roof yet.
Oh, sorry, not on the roof yet.
You're still in the stairwell.
Okay. Um. We're at the stairwell. Like,
He has just gone up a flight of steps, and he is sitting where it goes up to the next flight.
oh, he just sat down.
No, he didn't sat down. He's just like leaning.
Oh,
Oh, he's kind of like leaning on the rail, panting, and like, "Megumi, where are you?"
I'll have her peek down from the next floor. Uh,
He just kind of like nods at her and like looks up at her and he's like, I'm coming. I'm coming. Just slow down. At that point, are you looking through Max?
I am, yeah.
You see a hand on Max's left shoulder.
Whose hand?
Uh, Max turns around and you see Judas there. Like, hey Max, you doing okay? Uh, why are you what's up? Why are you walking the stairs at 3 a.m.?
Um, I'll have him just think of a max excuse. And then try to compel him to make some kind of excuse and then turn into a cat and run away. Not necessarily up the stairs, but just
He's just like, oh man, I uh, I was thinking about climbing up one of the trees on the roof or something and taking a nap. And I mean, I don't know, man. Why are you hassling me? Judas kind of like tilts his head and he's like, Max, are you okay? Do you want to go sit down or something? You look real tired. If you...
And then, yeah, at this point is where I'll have him turn into a cat. Compel him to just cat form away.
He just takes a step away from Judas and just says, like, man, what's your problem? Can't you say I want to be alone? And just like kind of pushes Judas's way, turns into a cat, and he starts hopping up the stairs. And see Judas be like, Max, wait, hold on. Max. But you see Judas just kind of like scratch his head as Max is in cat form and now everything's kind of in a depth of view. And you see Judas isn't following him. And you can hear with Max's enhanced hearing Judas under his breath just
Teenagers indeed.
Okay, well, Max is... He doesn't know why, but there's just a kick of adrenaline going from him. Like, he almost got caught doing something. He doesn't exactly know what, but just kind of using that adrenaline rush to keep running up the stairs. And you do hear Judas say, maybe I should, just talking to himself, I should check on him.
Okay.
And you just hear Judas slowly walking up.
Okay. Let's see. How close to the roof are we now? What floor are we?
You're about I'd say three floors away, so you're on floor 17.
Okay. let's see.
Max
I'll
is
have him.
still unless you're telling him to do something otherwise. Making good time on this.
That's fine. Yeah, I'll have him continue to the roof.
All right. You have him continue to the roof. He does have to turn back into a person to actually open the door. He's standing on the roof now, and just he's looking around, and his mind's still foggy. He just scratches his head, and he's like, "Wait, why did I come up here exactly? What? Hmm, wasn't Megumi supposed to be here? Oh,
And with those thoughts running through his head, I'll have her like kind of appear from around a corner, but then have her like shush him, and just be like, "Shh, Judas is coming. Quick, hide!" And have her like melt in the shadows for a moment.
he's just like, or whatever." And you see him turn into a cat, and he looks around, and you see just like a little thing of flowers that's a little bit higher than him, and he just kind of jumps down and hides in the bushes in the flower bed, as a cat. You you see him start looking around for Megumi, but he doesn't find her. But you do see Judas walk up, and he mutters to himself, "Letters come." And you see Judas looking around. He just he stands there at the stairway entrance to the roof, and he starts looking around, and or not looking around, but like holding his ear out. And he just starts calling out, like, "Max! Max, are you up here? You okay? You okay, bud?" I will do a roll here. Okay, that's a big bonus. Okay, let's see. Nineteen. 19 versus. Oh, I could have swore that he. Well, he is a cat, so I'm going to give.
Sweet. I was afraid he was about to be caught.
Don't get your hopes up. Okay. 10 versus 19. Max.
Oh God.
Judas looks over at straight at where Max is, and uh Max see Max like look around in his cat form, and Judas just slowly walks over, and he says, uh "Max, you okay, buddy?" And you just see Max just look up and go, "Eh." And Judas just kind of scratches his head, and he says, uh "Well, all right." And Max just looks up, and Max just looks up at him again and goes, "Eh." Uh, Judas just looks at him and he says, okay, well, this is going to be a little confusing. Now, I don't have a problem with you, like, sleeping up here on the roof or anything, but you're acting kind of weird. Um, are you sure you're gonna be alright up here? 2 meows for yes, 1 meow for no. Max just kind of looks up at him for a second, and just goes, meow, meow. And Judas just goes, alright, alright. I can stay up here if you want. You don't, you, if, but if you want to be alone, I understand. You want me to, like, help you into a tree or something? There's actually a long pause, and you just hear a very, like, unsure meow. Hey, was that a meow for yes or a meow for no? Meow. Okay. I'm gonna say that. I'm going to guess that was a no. Meow. All right. Well, don't let yourself get too cold up here, and if you need anything, I'll be just right outside, okay? And just see, you just hear another meow as Judas just starts walking back towards the door. And go ahead and you can give me a soul roll
Okay.
if you want.
Yeah, let's see here.
You can make that private if you like.
Oh, wait. Add +3 to that.
Okay. You see Judas, like, casually looking occasionally looking over his shoulder at Max, with a look on his face that tells you, like, he doesn't believe a meow of what Max is saying. And you get the sense that, he definitely feels like something is up here and Max is acting real weird. Uh, you, he does go to the door and he does close the door behind him, but um, but you're not. He definitely thinks something weird up. Max,
Right.
you can just tell by the look on his face.
Okay. I assume he's still watching, and that's gonna put a damper on the plan.
You see Max start looking around again. Just Max, with his mind still foggy, didn't seem to notice anything from Judas himself. But he does start looking around and going, meow, meow, meow.
I'll have Megumi reappear to him over at the Zen Garden. and have him walk it pretty much as far away from the door as possible.
Okay.
Max, over here.
You
Be quiet.
his little cat cat head looks up at Megumi, who looks very, very large from this point of view. Max just does a very quiet. And then there's like a sudden pause, and you see Max blinking, and you see Max shake his head, and you see his point of view shift back up to human height, and like, sorry, so tired. I forgot I was a cat for a second. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Come on over, but be quiet. Shh.
What's up, Meg?
If he does follow her over, like back as far away.
He does.
Yeah. Okay. Once over there, let's see. I think. I mean, Akio has to try something anyway. This was supposed to be the night. Plans may change, but we'll see how they change.
Okay.
From as far away as possible, I'll give him the urge to glance back at the door to make sure no one's come up.
Okay.
Does it look like it's?
He can see perfectly well, and even though you know that it's like pitch black out here, and he looks at the door, and it seems like the door is closed. I will make him do kind of like perception. Let's see. Okay. He. Hold on. He hears breathing coming from the other side of the door.
Okay. Well, yeah, I don't think the plan will work out quite as well with Gustav there listening in.
Or Judas.
Judas, sorry. Because Judas has the super hearing.
There's always the option of waiting to see if Judas eventually goes away.
Yeah, that's probably what we'll do. I'll have him sit down and kind of imagine essentially create an illusion of a scenario from his mind of like what the best scenario would be for a conversation with Megumi alone.
Okay. Do you want me to go into the conversation?
You don't need to if you don't want to, but
Okay.
they'll like
Just
it'll be an illusion.
whatever he thinks the conversation is.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you actually want him talking or just listening? And do you want him as a cat or a person?
His senses get significantly better as a cat, right?
Significantly. Let me actually check and see. Go ahead and give me a knowledge roll from your character sheet.
Uh, mind roll.
Yeah. Make it private. Make it. Yeah. You from looking through him the times that you have, you've definitely noticed that. Uh, Although it does seem that Max's hearing, in general, seems to stay uh quite or above normal standards in either form. You have you do notice that he can see in the dark as a cat, and his hearing seems to practically double strength. And he also, um, you also get the sense that he can smell better too. So he basically takes on all of the benefits of a cat. So it is definitely more potent as a cat.
Okay. Um, yeah, I would prefer as a cat.
Okay, then he just turns into a cat and kind of sits there and is he curls up, like he walks over to where the image of what the image of Megumi was supposed to be, and you just curls up into a ball and starts purring. um Not exactly. You didn't give exact it, exactly what he's imagining. um you're just kind of uh putting a scene in his mind, and not exactly something that you can see. You can't read his mind, but he's just curled up in a ball purring.
Yeah, makes sense. Um, okay, let's see. As that goes on, in about 30 minutes of this having gone on, I'll have him check the door one more time. Does he still hear Gustav?
Uh, you you After about 30 minutes, uh, you hear the footstep. You hear like the sound of footsteps going down the stairwell.
Okay.
Or
Uh,
actually, before that, he hears the door kind of creak open to the roof, very slowly, and it stays like that for about a minute, and then it slowly closes, and you hear the footsteps going down.
okay. I'll give it another 10 minutes after that. Uh, but 10 minutes after Gustav has gone down the stairs.
Judas.
Judas. I don't know why I keep saying Gustav. My bad. Um, 10 minutes after Judas has gone down the stairs, that will be when, unfortunately, this dreamlike state will turn for the worse.
All right, I will give, um, I will give Max one more hearing roll to see that he might pick up something. Okay, yeah, he picks up something. It's kind of very faint from it seems like it's a few steps down from down the stairwell, but you hear Zafra say, "That's where you've uh, it looks like Gustav is away." Judas, and then you hear Judas say, "Really? How's he doing?" "Oh, you know, he kind of looks like he's been through a fight. He's uh, he's drinking, and I made him some soup, and He wanted to come talk to you. Wanted to talk to you. There. Have your rounds gone? Have you noticed anything? Thing you know about? I saw Max wandering through the stairwell. He was acting real weird, but said he wanted to go sleep on the roof. Watched him for a while and seems to be just, you know, cat mode. So, I decided to leave him alone. Wanna go check on him? You can... No, no. I think it's alright. I don't know if it's alright, but I, I think he wants to be left alone. Didn't seem to be doing anything I wouldn't have done as a... I snuck off to any roofs back when I was his age. Well, guess we leave him alone. What about their situation? I walked the tree line. Whoever that, he's definitely out there watching. If I can't find him. I thought I caught his trail a little bit past one, but track the guy, he doesn't leave a trace. Once he hunkers down, I can't find him, even with my hearing. Oh. Gustavville, I'm sure. Take the elevator. And then you just hear two sets of footsteps walking away. And then you hear the ding of an elevator. And then everything's quiet.
Okay. Alright, yeah, that'll work. Just a few minutes then after the ding of the elevator, after it's been silent, is when the nightmare will start to change. Or the dream will start to change into a nightmare, I should say.
Okay, what's going on?
Here's where the idyllic vision that he was having starts to morph.
Okay. What is it morph?
I don't know exactly what he was saying, but Megumi's responses are going to get crueler. So it's going to turn into a nightmare until eventually I'll have her just... Let's see.
Does he stay as a cat?
Probably not, no.
Oh. You start hearing his side of the conversation as you have Megumi start saying just things that you imagine he wouldn't want to hear. You hit give me some kind of inspiration in what you're having Megumi say.
Let's say something just along the lines of how foolish can you be? Did you think? Did you really think? You know, uh, we could be friends or even anything more?
Uh-huh.
And then
Then
from
you just you hear Max uh it just say like, "Oh, okay, so you're gonna leave me now too, huh?" For and he just says, "Geez, I thought you were different. I thought you would could understood me at least a little bit." And I get it. I get it. You want to choose the honorable white knight guy over me? That's fine. That's fine. And I hope he makes you happy.
from there, Megami will say something along the lines of, "That's right. We'll be happy together. But first, I I need to take care of something." And then that's where he'll start feeling cold start coming in around him. It'll start crawling along his arms, going up his wrists.
He he starts looking down at his wrist, arms. What does he see?
Just weird black splotches crawl onto his hands from the shadows.
And what's Megumi do?
Starting to step back and just start laughing as she slowly bleeds into shadow. She's not going to completely leave, but she'll stay as like a shadow thing.
He
From
just I'm sorry. Go on.
Oh, okay, no, sorry. I was going to say from there he'll also start hearing little chittering, uh, clashing sound like teeth hitting teeth coming from the black splotches on his arms.
He he just starts like swatting at his wrist with his hands, like trying to like brush it, brush the black stuff off, and he just looks up uh, at the Megumi shadow creature, and he's like, what are you doing?"
From there, he'll feel little pinches along his arm, and then after that, the black splotches disappearing under his skin. He'll see bulges and he'll feel pressures.
He you just he's just like, "Megumi, what? You crazy? What are you doing? Stop!"
From there, the little chittering shadow blotches slash bugs will then crawl throughout his arms, biting everything, causing pain along the way. I'll try to induce even more panic in his mind. Gotta get him out. Gotta get him out before they go up the arms.
All right, your mind control is so high. Okay, um, yeah, he just starts scratching at them really hard with his fingernails. Um and he just says, "Megami, what are you doing?
He'll
What's gotten
feel.
into you?"
I'll use the illusion to make it so the pain he feels of scratching his arms, he doesn't think it's coming from his hands. He thinks it's coming from the chittering shadow bugs. As he
Okay.
fears they'll get further and further up his arms. So I'll try to use that to create like a feedback loop of more fear to
Okay.
claw harder.
It this goes on for 30 seconds or a minute until he's just in a complete state of panic as he's just digging into his wrists and arms. Um you can see that they're getting red, and little bits of skin are starting to flake off as he's starting to scratch it raw. Um, just and after a little bit after that, if you have him keep doing that, you should see just a little bit of blood starting to well up on his wrists as he's scratching past the skin, and just he just starts crying, and he's just like come on, Megumi, this isn't funny.
Um, as that goes on, when he starts breaking the skin, as he's clawing, it seems like the lumps under his arms kind of, from his perspective, seem like they almost moves around his scratch marks, so they like dodge his fingers, kind of like like if you were trying to like claw at water or something.
Right. At this point, he's starting to get a bit incoherent, and he's just yelling, "Get them out! Get them out! Get them out!"
Uh, and I'll have him, yeah, be more afraid of it, as it looks like even more shadows might be trying to enter into the wounds that the chittering bugs left behind.
All right. At this point, unless you stop him, you feel a sudden jolt of uh, or rather, yeah, you just feel a sudden jolt of primal just fear connect between you and him. It's really it's kind of concerning because you're not used to feeling an emotional connection to a person when when you control them. You can see through them, but you can't hear or feel their emotion exactly. But just from this situation, there you can almost feel a sudden jolt of primal fear, uh, as like a tingling down your spine as he looks at the shadowy figure and sees more little shadows running, uh, crawling up towards him, and he just starts to turn away to run away. Um,
I will try to fight through that if I can, and try to lock him in place, make him feel like he can't run away.
all right, you will have to give me a mind control roll for this.
Okay.
Um, going to going to have it is a soul roll to resist, correct? Or is it a mind roll?
Give me 1 second. Let me see if I have it on the sheet. I do not. Let me pull up the PDF. Alright, took me a second to find the sheet. Now I got it. And let's find the skill.
Oh, well, I guess it doesn't really matter since all of his stats are the same, but yeah, put it on your sheet for future reference, and I will have him roll. Um, he's going to have a rather large bonus because his mind is getting more and more feral, and this feralness in his mind is making the connection between you and him not as strong as you might like. Okay,
Okay.
go ahead and give me your mind control roll in a private roll.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I just found it, and it's either a mind or soul roll, whichever is higher.
Okay. Well, they are the same, so it doesn't really matter. I gave him an extra +4, which is still very meager in comparison to your bonus. Okay. Uh, so you feel that there's some struggle going on, and even though you feel like you have complete domination, it's almost uh, his mind kind of rears back at you telling him to not run away. Uh, you push that urge back down and assert your control, um, com- completely dominating him. But there there was more will. to that than you would have liked.
Okay, yeah, it was harder than it should have been. Than normal because of
Just because of the fear and
the extra fear that he was feeling and the extra fear that was somehow going through to me because that's new.
it's not
Akio's not
it's
used to
not
this kind.
exact it's not exactly fear that you felt. You just felt like a sudden tingle down your spine. You could chalk it up to excitement. Maybe you're feeling his fear for a second, or or maybe you convinced yourself for a second. You bought into the illusion a little bit too much yourself, and you're like, "Ooh, this is kind of like a horror movie."
Okay, okay.
However, you would like to take it.
We'll say the last one actually. Akio kind of bought into it a little too much and felt it as well, and but it also kind of excited Akio, like, oh yeah, this is what horror movies are like.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So he goes to turn to run away, and he trips and falls, uh, and slams on the ground. Um, you would imagine that that fall would leave a pretty big bruise on his chin because he slammed into the ground pretty hard in his panicky haste. But then, as he lays on the ground, he just kind of picks himself up and just kind of sits there, um, and just starts clawing at his hands again. Um, as you can tell he still wants to run away, but that he's not going to. And he stops scratching at his wrists now, and he just like grabs onto his hair and just starts pulling it. And he's about to you can tell he's about to uh, let out and start screaming and pulling his hair out.
I I will try to use my mind control powers to suppress the scream.
Okay, give me a mind control.
Quiet.
Okay, yeah. Uh you basically send a command to him uh, that just says, "Don't say a word, be quiet," and he his mouth actually opens, but no sound comes out, and he slowly closes it. But his eyes are wide, and he is pulling his hair out as
That's fair.
he's just gritting his teeth, just.
And how are his wrists now? Are they bleeding a little bit, bleeding profusely?
They're somewhere in, but that I wouldn't say that he's in danger from the blood, but it's definitely like trailing down his entire arms, right? Like it might need stitches.
Are there any rocks around that might be a little bit sharp?
Uh, you can have Max look around real fast. So I will give him body roll to have him look around.
Because I
Yeah,
assume he
he
didn't.
you see, um, most of the rocks are rounded off. Um, to specifically prevent people from falling on them and hitting a sharp rock. But in the back where the Zen garden area is, there's a few of those rocks that are like flat, as if someone had taken a flat river rock or something that you would use as a patio rock and like stuck them up to make kind of like a Zen uh, feng shui kind of pattern.
Okay. Because yeah, I assume he didn't bring any tools with him, like
No,
keys or.
he's pretty much in his boxers.
That's what I figured. Yeah. All right. So I'll send. like the command to his mind, like, have to get something to help get the shadows out. They're still there. They're gonna get deeper.
All
And
right.
then and like point out that flat stone to him.
He buys that completely. And he actually runs over there in a frantic panic and almost slams his arms down on these rocks and just starts rubbing his wrists over it. And you see through his vision, it's getting hazy from tears as he's just like still listening to the previous command of being quiet, but he's like grunting in pain now, and his teeth are gritting as he's just rubbing his wrist up and down this rock, and just coating it in blood as it's gashing his arm open. Is the sound he's making?
This is kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
But gotta go through with it.
Akiho's loving it.
Oh no, Akio is in bliss right now. Um, yeah, just gotta dig it out. Gotta dig them out. And then just
It's getting to the point where, from your medical knowledge, Akiho's medical knowledge, he's getting close to making it so that there's going to be some real serious and permanent damage to his hands if he keeps going.
perfect.
And it is now bleeding profusely.
Profusely? Okay.
He definitely needs help.
All right. So then this is probably about the point that would be good enough. If it's bleeding profusely, um, with my medical knowledge, I could assume that left untreated, he would bleed out at this point, right?
Right. You could assume that it would probably take somewhere between 30 minutes to an hour, but it would happen if he didn't get help.
Okay.
It's not going to be an immediate thing for sure, but you can also tell that he's maybe 5-10 minutes from passing out from blood loss too. So after that point, it's just going to be a slow, unconscious thing.
Yeah. All right, that works for me. Then at this point, I'll give him the command in his mind. I have to tell someone. Someone has to know that Megami did this. And then have him find the largest standing rock he can.
All right. That would actually be the one that you have seen Sora sitting on. Not Sora, Karu sitting on occasionally. Um, it's the largest rock here in this little Zen garden area, and it's flat on the top, and you can tell that it's kind of meant for like meditation.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, as long as it's flat on a side, towards the doors even, that works. Well, any side actually, doesn't have to be towards the doors. But yeah, I'll have him go to that door, or go to that rock, and start scribbling a message.
All right. Anything in particular that you want him to say?
Start by saying, just writing the letter M very legibly, and then trailing off into incomprehensible scribbles for a little bit. So just like super bad cursive, essentially.
Okay.
So no one can read it
So,
there.
so
And
specifically, you want bad cursive. Okay.
so I want M to start with, and then so very clearly M, and then after that something illegible, and then after that inside me. So from his point of view, he might be writing like Megumi is getting inside me or attacking inside me, something to that effect. But all that ends up being legible, that I want to be legible, is just M scribbles and then inside me.
Okay. This is what he ends up saying, if this is okay with you. Just more or less. The random letters are just scribbles.
That's good, yeah.
Okay. Then. Uh, okay. That takes longer than you would expect, with his arms the way they are, and you can see that he's starting to see black spots as he's writing this out, and it is actually getting hard for him to even write this much. Uh, you can tell that he still has a good 2-3 minutes left, though. So, are you going to control him all the way to unconsciousness, or what are you going to do?
Yeah, all the way to unconsciousness.
All right. Do you want him to lay down in a particular way, or do you give him any final commands?
Um, I just if he's able to finish the message and he still has that 3 minutes left over, I'll just kind of curl up below the rock, below the message. Um, and I'll just have him. So the only thing you could hear is just Megami kind of laughing. If he opens his eyes to look around, he'll just see her staring at him from across the way, but not doing anything to approach him further. And that's just what I want him to see, and just have him like try to close his eyes to block it out, uh,
All right.
and lay
Well,
there.
well, as he stares at Megumi, just laughing at him, you just hear him. Uh, Mostly, you hear him sobbing, but you do hear him whisper out, "Why?" as his eyes close and your link breaks.
That moment my link breaks is what Akio was waiting for all night.
Right.
Just fades out.
Any closing comments?
Uh, Akio will, you know, sigh in happiness and probably get a good night's rest for the rest of the night.
Okay. Then we will end it here.